Hi guys. We're trying out a new camera this morning, so bear with us if it's a little bit clunky. But I just wanted to start out. I guess we'll start out today by talking about this weather. This is crazy. I read something this morning that said that Houston was actually the first before Boston and New York to record their first snowfall this year.
It's crazy.
Houston, snowfall, November 13th. How is that possible? We were recording our video yesterday about the sprinkler system, and I'm sitting there watching these like flurries come down, and I'm going, what is that? What is that? No, that's got to be sleet, right? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, and it's like resting on Og's jacket, and I'm going, I didn't want to interrupt him and throw him off while he was describing everything, so I didn't, but I was in shock. I'm like, seriously, that's not what that is. Anyway, completely crazy. Wanted to take a minute. I guess if you guys are watching, if you could start, interacting with us, that's great. We just want to make sure that the equipment that we're using today is working adequately and that we are doing what we need to do. Okay, I can see people watching. I think we're good. Okay, so Haley and I decided we were going to do a little giveaway on the show, and we love, funny, cute coffee mugs. And so whenever we were shopping, we found these two, and we laughed because we think that the world's kind of split between two different people, two different types of people.
This way. There we go.
The people who feel like, joy comes in the morning. Can you read that? Turn it towards the camera.
Is it?
There you go. Joy comes in the morning. Nope. There you go.
I don't know.
And then people like me who feel like, nope. No. Now, I've gotten better in my old age. These days, I'm actually waking up before my alarm goes off. And anybody that knows me knows that is shocking. I get up early and, I spend some time before the kids get up. That's a big deal for me. But yeah, we just kind of think the world is split between two different kinds of people. So, which person are you? Comment, let us know which person you are. And we're going to run a little contest. What we're going to do is we're going to ask you to share the video, like my business page, which I will put in the comments as soon as this is done. And we will select someone to win one of these fun mugs based upon which type of person you are. Anyway, so we are going to get on with our real estate topic of the day.
So, Ginger gets asked this question all the time.
It's kind of a job.
Yeah. It's important.
Mm-hmm.
Ginger, what is my home worth?
What is my home worth? Okay, so, well, I'm not going to sit here and act like this is rocket science because it's not. But there is a difference between, jumping on HCAD, pulling your square footage, and running some comps and giving you a number. There's a lot more that goes into it if you want to really do a professional assessment of a home. So some of those things are obviously the size, the age, the type of build, the condition, and any upgrades that the property might have. To break that down a little bit further, whenever we're talking about square footage, it's important to consider the source. I would say that of the three sources that are available, they vary in their accuracy. I would say that the one that's the least reliable is from the appraisal district. It's usually off. So I try to drill down a bit, and ideally, I would like to have an appraisal that was performed by your lender when you purchased the property, or any time that you may have had the home refinanced. That would be the only time someone actually came in and measured your home. The other source that I could go to would be the builder for that specific floor plan if that's available. Now, if none of that is available and I'm really concerned about it being off, I might get an appraiser to come out and actually do a measure only. Why is this so important? If your property is off by, say, 200 square feet, if you're talking about $100 a square foot, that equates to about $20,000. So it is important that you have that right. Otherwise, whenever it comes time to have it under contract and you have a buyer and their appraiser comes out and performs their assessment, it could be off. They could find out that the house is actually 250 square feet less than what we have in the listing, and they're having trouble reaching the value that we're at, and then we're having to renegotiate. Nobody wants to be in that position. So it's very important up front to have that figure, make sure that it's correct. And a lot of the time, it could be that your home's actually bigger. So just as important to know from a value standpoint. Age. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and go into square footage a little bit more. Whenever I search for square footage, you want to kind of look for, maybe 300 square feet less, 300 square feet over. You don't want to search for anything that is much larger or smaller than that, because the price per square foot gets a little bit skewed, and whenever you're making adjustments, they're not accurate. If you can get in, drill down even a little bit further, because you have that number of comps available, even better. Let's talk about age. I typically look within 10 years, so 5 under, 5 over, and kind of drill down from there. Type of build. This is why it's important to stay within the same neighborhood, because you have the same quality of builder. Now I will say that in a large master plan community like the one that I live in, I live in Eagle Springs, it's even more important to understand how each of the different villages were built, because you had different builders building throughout, and you could pick the same age and square footage of home, but if you're talking about a different quality in builder and possibly a different lot size, and I don't mean like your specific square footage of lot size, I mean that whenever they built the section, what was the frontage of the lots that they built on, meaning you've got more distance between you and the house next to you. It's important to pull from the same type of section so that you have a more accurate reflection of value. Just to give a couple of examples within our own neighborhood, Starling Creek, Cross Creek, Sutter's Creek, those neighborhoods have very similar builders, and some of they vary a little bit in age, but they're pretty close. So you might be able to pull comps from one or the other if you don't have them from that one specific village. Hawthorne Ridge, Preston Village, same thing. Chandler Crossing, Cades Crossing, Meridian Cove, Montecito Point, they're all similar. They may differ in age, which is something that if you only had comps from those different sections, you would definitely want to consider as well. But if you didn't have the comps to pull from your specific section, it's important to know which ones you would be able to pull from. Let's see here. After type of build, I would say condition. Now, condition is different than upgrades. Their condition refers to whether the house is well kept, whether the systems have been kept up, whether everything's been allowed to deteriorate. It's whether the paint looks good in the house. That's actually not an upgrade. That's more of a condition type thing. But as far as the systems are concerned, AC, water heater, roof, those sorts of things, while yes, you need to keep those things updated, it's not necessarily something that's going to add value from an appraisal standpoint, because those systems are expected to be in running order in any home. That being said, if you've replaced some systems and your competition on the market has not, they may pick your property over their property, which means that your property actually sells faster, which means it could sell for more because you're not sitting on the market and then possibly making adjustments in order to sell. So condition is extremely important. Upgrades. Now, whenever it comes to upgrades, we're talking about things like, updated flooring, kitchen remodels, bath remodels, shutters. Shutters actually add value, whether it has a pool, hot tub, covered patio, those sorts of things. Another thing to figure into that is not only whether it was done, but how it was done. Were those finishes something that actually translates to an audience? Is it something that other people are going to want? Or, did you pick something that you really love that maybe not everyone else does? So there are a lot of things that go into actually figuring out what your home is worth. So, you know, whenever I get a phone call to do that, there are a few questions that I'm going to ask before I run out and meet with you in order to kind of drill that down. And whenever I show up, there's probably a range that we drill down during that meeting based upon what I'm seeing. So just so you know, it's a little more involved than slapping together some comps and giving you a number if it's done appropriately. If you have any questions about this process, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any that you have. I think that what we were going to do next is kind of get to some of the events that are coming up in the neighborhood.
Yes. So in our area, over at Jumpapalooza on November 19th.
Jumpalooza.
Jumpalooza.
Jumpapalooza. You're going to jump up on a loser. I know. Jumpalooza.
Jumpalooza. Okay. They are having an open house and free jumping from 10 to 6. And that is on the 19th of November. And they're going to do little crafts and stuff for the kids. So that should be fun. The kids are out of school, so go enjoy that. On November 24th, there is a small business Saturday, and that is at...
it's Picture Perfect Interiors and Gifts. And that's over at the corner of 1960 and Timber Forest. If you want to see a video of what their place looks like, look at my page, because that place is gorgeous. So they're going to do a little open house. We're going to be one of the vendors setting up there, so we'd be happy to say hi. So come by and shop, and I think we're going to do giveaways and stuff like that. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it will be fun. And then today, Eagle Springs is opening their Adopt an Angel, and that is going to be up at the Eagle Springs Clubhouse. And today they open at 1 o'clock, so you can go up there, grab an angel.
Basically what you're doing is you're picking a child to sponsor for the holidays. So it's always a great thing that they do, and they're there until they all get picked, and typically they always do. So run up and do that. It's an amazing way to give back. I think that's all we have for today. If you guys have any questions, always feel free to reach out. If there's anything that you want to see, if you want to see an event highlighted, if you want a real estate question answered, if you want to see us run around and discover someplace new, just let us know, and we'll be happy to do that. Back to our coffee mug thing here at the end. Let us know which person you are. Are you joy in the morning? Joy comes in the morning? Or are you nope? And please share the video, like our business page that I will put in the comments in just a moment, and we will select someone to win one of these fun mugs. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we will catch you next week on another episode of Coffee with Homelove.